They said the bell rang before anyone touched it. Not loud, not urgent, just soft, like a finger tapping glass from the other side of a dream. In Olorunda Community Primary School, the bell was old. Rust ate its edges. Children joked that it coughed instead of ringing. So when it rang that morning, clear, gentle, almost polite, every child froze, and every child listened, because something about that sound felt like it knew their names.
This is not a story about monsters with horns. It is not a story about shadows jumping from walls. This is a story about classrooms, about chalk dust, about children who still smelled of shea butter and morning pap, and about how evil does not always knock loudly. Sometimes it whispers during assembly. Olorunda sat quietly at the edge of Ogun Forest, the kind of place where the road thins before it disappears. Red earth, low houses, zinc roofs that sang during rain. In the evenings, elders sat on wooden benches, their voices rising and falling like old songs. At night, the forest breathed, deep, patient, alive. People said the forest remembered everything. Children walked to school in groups, barefoot or in worn sandals, uniforms faded from too many washings. Mothers tied headscarves warning them, don't follow strangers, don't eat what they give you, don't stay late. Warnings spoken so often they lost their weight. Among those children was Damilola, 10 years old, quiet eyes, the kind of child teachers forgot was in class until she raised her hand and answered correctly. She liked to sit near the window where light touched her desk first. At home, she helped her mother sell akara in the mornings. In the evenings, she read aloud to her younger brother while their father listened in silence. Damilola did not like trouble, which was why trouble liked her. That Monday, a new woman stood at the assembly ground. She was not announced. She was just there. Slim, tall, dressed in a plain brown gown that reached her ankles. Her hair was braided simply, no beads, no decoration. Her smile was gentle, careful, like it had been practiced in front of a mirror for a long time. The headmaster cleared his throat. "This is Auntie Morayo," he said, hesitating, as if the name had slipped into his mouth without permission. "She will be helping us with special lessons." Special lessons. Children liked the sound of that. Parents clapped politely. Teachers exchanged quick glances. Someone whispered, "Helping with what?" But Auntie Mariah only smiled. Her eyes moved slowly across the children. When they rested on Damilola, they did not blink. The special lessons started the next day. Not for everyone, only for those who were gifted. That word spread quickly. Gifted, chosen, selected. It sounded like favor. Auntie Mariah stood by the staff room after classes, calling names softly, like she was afraid to wake something. Damilola Adeyemi, Kehinde Balogun, Samuel Ojo. Children stepped forward, chests lifting with pride. Some looked back at their friends, smiling. "Look at me, I was chosen." They followed her to the old library at the far end of the school, a building nobody used anymore. The roof sagged, dust covered the shelves, a smell of old paper and something damp filled the air. Auntie Mariah closed the door. The sound was final. Inside, the light was low. Curtains blocked the windows. Candles sat on a table, not lit, just waiting. "This is not a normal class," Auntie Mariah said gently. Her voice was calm, warm, almost motherly. "What we will learn here, you must not tell others." A pause. "Can you keep secrets?" The children nodded. Of course they could. They were big now. She smiled wider. "Good." She taught them games first, Memory games, breathing exercises, songs without words. She asked them to close their eyes and imagine places, warm places, dark places, places where fear slept quietly. "Do you feel that?" she asked. Damilola did. She felt heavy, like her feet were sinking into the floor, like something was listening inside her chest. But when she opened her eyes, Auntie Mariah was smiling. "Very good," she said. "You are strong." Strong. That word echoed.
At home, Damilola became quieter. Not sad, not sick, just distant. Her mother noticed first. "Dami," she called one evening, turning akara in hot oil, "you didn't answer me." Damilola blinked, as if waking. "Sorry, Mama." "You are always sorry these days." Silence stretched between them, filled by the sound of frying oil. That night, Damilola dreamed of the forest. Not the forest she knew, the one where children picked mangoes at the edge. This one was deeper, older. Trees stood like judges. The ground pulsed softly like a breathing thing. Someone called her name. She woke with sweat on her neck. At school, changes crept in quietly. Children from the special lessons stopped playing during break. They sat together whispering. Sometimes they laughed at nothing. Sometimes they stared too long on ants crawling on the ground. Samuel, once loud and playful, began to cry during class for no reason. Kehinde stopped eating. When asked why, she said, "I'm not hungry anymore." Parents complained. Teachers shrugged. "Children change," they said. "Maybe it's stress." Denial is easy when fear has no shape.
One afternoon, Damilola stayed back after school. Auntie Morayo had asked her to. The library was darker than usual. The candles were lit now, flames trembling. "Today," Auntie Morayo said softly, "we will learn how to listen." She placed a small mirror on the table. "Look." Damilola leaned forward. Her reflection stared back, then smiled. Damilola did not smile. Her breath caught. "That is your other ear," Auntie Morayo whispered, "the one adults forgot how to use." The mirror grew warm. The bell rang, not the school bell, something deeper. That evening, as the sun sank red behind the trees, Damilola walked home slowly. The forest rustled. She thought she heard her name again. She did not answer, but something inside her did. That night, the old women in the village dreamed the same dream, a bell ringing underground and children walking toward it barefoot. The first child to fall sick was not from the special lessons. That was why nobody panicked. His name was Sola, a thin boy with knees always scraped, laughter always ready. He collapsed during morning assembly, right after the national anthem. One moment he was singing, off-key, smiling, and the next he was on the ground, shaking like something inside him was trying to leave. Teachers rushed, children screamed, dust rose. When Sola finally opened his eyes, he began to cry. Not loudly, quietly, like someone who had just remembered something terrible. "I don't want to go back there," he whispered. "Back where?" No one asked, because adults are very good at not asking the wrong questions. The village clinic said malaria. They always said malaria. Tablets were given, prayers were said, life continued. But the bell rang again. This time during class. Soft, careful, almost shy. Miss Adebayo stopped mid-sentence, chalk frozen in the air. "Did you hear that?" she asked. The children did not answer.
because they were listening. Damilola sat by the window, hands folded. Her eyes were open, but she was not looking outside. Something inside her head was humming, low and steady, like a distant generator. Listen, listen properly. Auntie Morayo's voice lived there now. At break time, Damilola did not stand up. She remained seated, staring at the scratch marks on her desk, 3 lines crossed by another 3. She traced them slowly with her finger. Her friend Zainab nudged her. "Dami, you're not coming?" Damilola blinked. "I'll come later." Zainab frowned. "You always say that now." Damilola did not reply, because later never came anymore.
At home, the akara burnt. Her mother smelled it too late. "Ah!" she cried, lifting the pan. "Damilola!" Damilola stood by the doorway, holding her brother's book upside down. "I'm sorry, Mama." Her mother stared at her. "You said that already." Silence. A fly buzzed. "You are changing," her mother said finally, not angry, afraid. "What are they teaching you in that school?" Damilola opened her mouth. Nothing came out, because when she tried to speak, something pressed gently against her tongue. Not forceful, just firm. That night, Damilola did not dream. She closed her eyes and fell into darkness so deep it felt like rest. But in that darkness, something counted her breaths. 1, 2, 3, waiting.
The special lessons grew longer. Auntie Morayo asked them questions now, not normal questions. Who do you belong to? What do you hear when you are alone? If I ask you to choose between your mother and your gift, what would you choose? The children hesitated. She smiled patiently. There are no wrong answers. That was a lie. Samuel screamed during one session, not from pain, from realization. "No!" he cried, clutching his head. "Stop calling me!" Auntie Morayo knelt beside him, calm. "Do not insult your helpers," she said softly. "They are older than your fear." Helpers. The word tasted wrong. Samuel stopped screaming. He began to laugh. Parents noticed marks, small scratches on wrists, ash-like stains behind ears, children waking with dirt under their fingernails. "They play too much," some parents said. "They walk in their sleep," others added. The village pastor suggested prayers. The imam suggested fasting. Everyone suggested something. No one suggested the school. Because the school had always been there. Because evil does not announce itself wearing fire. Sometimes it wears a teacher's smile.